How are you today? In today's video, I'm going to tell you all about our brand new tea collection. We are calling it "Twas the Night Before Christmas." That's right, friends. I'm not always dressed like a reindeer, but I am today very specifically to tell you about these 4 delicious teas. Here at Sub Rosa Tea, we think tea time should be fun. Smash that like button if you agree with me. Yes, I do. I think tea time should not only be fun, it should be delicious. There are so many ingredients that we can use in the tea world. Why shouldn't it be fun? I know some of you think tea time should be all stuffy, but here I am to tell you that we can definitely do both. Hey, Miss Laura, thanks for watching live. Laura, okay, you got to tell me, you have watched enough of my live videos. I just got a new ring camera, a ring light to light from the front. Can you tell the difference? I think that the camera light is very dim tonight, but also I have really funny makeup on, so you probably can't tell. But hi there, Daisy. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So I don't know if I should go back to the old one. The old one was a monstrosity. It broke months ago. So if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it, Miss Laura. Anyway, friends, my name is Joy. I'm the owner of Sub Rosa Tea. We're a small company based in Northern Ohio and will ship anywhere in the United States. We have over 100 flavors that we sell all year. But we also sell limited edition flavors. Those are themed bundles. Sometimes they're seasonal, sometimes they're just themed. This particular collection, we're calling it "Twas the Night Before Christmas," but we also, for years now, have had a Christmas holiday collection that we call the 12 Days of Christmas. I talked about that last week. Yeah, it was just last week. And you can watch the replay by downloading our mobile shopping app, which is Sub Rosa Tea. 3 words, 2 spaces in the middle. Sub Rosa Tea. You can download the app in your favorite app store. It's free. Or you could just go to our website. Any desktop, no problem. subrosatea.com. Go to the page called Live Video Shopping. That's where you can watch the replays of the videos to hear all about them. All of the tea I'm going to be talking about today and the 12 Days of Christmas, those are all limited edition. We only have them for a short period of time. This particular collection, though, we do hope to have all the way through January because we know a lot of you give our tea as gifts, and we really do appreciate that. We also have a Thanksgiving pie collection that came out quite a while ago. It'll only be around for a little bit longer. We don't tend to sell that very long at all. And then next weekend, this is a programming note, even though you can almost always find me live on a Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, the app, and the website. Next weekend, no live video. However, trust me, hear me when I say you are going to want your notifications on. You're going to want to make sure our emails are landing in your inbox and not on the offers page. You're going to want to make sure that you get our notifications on the mobile shopping app and all the places that you get your notifications from a small company. I'm not going to be live, but you are going to want to know what we're going to say. Laura says, oh, the lighting's not as good now. And I appreciate you telling me that. I know, I think it's really funny. It seems to be top heavy and not as lit as it normally is. I hate to have 2 or 3 lights if I have to. But yeah, it's actually honestly that important because it's, I don't know, it is kind of dim lit in the room that I'm in anyway. And of course, the backdrop always affects the light. I think they bounce off each other. So thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it, Laura. Friends, our tea. This particular tea collection, you can actually save money if you buy all 4 tea as a bundle. We sell loose leaf tea, which means we sell it by weight. The try me size is a 1/2 ounce. It'll make about 6 to 8 cups. And then the 2-ounce bag is our value size, and that'll make about 20 to 24 cups of tea. And what I mean by that is an 8-ounce cup. Right in front of me, I have a 12-ounce mug. If you were going to use this mug for your tea time, I would put a little bit more tea to water ratio. But of course, it's your tea. You can do whatever you like with it. I do want to tell you all about these teas because they're just so different. They're so interesting. They're so very different than the 12 Days of Christmas. Like I said, you can buy all of these teas as a bundle. That's where you're going to save money, but I'm going to talk to you about them individually as well. First up, friends, Krampus. Krampus. This is a smoky black chai tea. So for those of you that are not familiar with loose leaf tea, it does not come in a tea bag. We sell it by weight. You get to decide how much tea to scoop out into your cup. And that's the important thing. You can make your tea stronger. You can make it weaker. You can even blend two flavors together when it's not in a tea bag. Loose leaf tea is also 10 times healthier for you than tea bag tea. The stuff that is in tea bags is actually called dust and fannings. But loose leaf tea, you get the whole tea leaf and you get more antioxidants into your cup. Now, this Krampus Smoky Black Chai Tea, this is extremely different than anything else that we sell. Also, we introduced it last year. I'd had the idea to sell this particular blend and to call it Krampus, and wouldn't you know, someone very dear to me brought it up. I love how great minds think alike. She brought it up to me and said, hey, have you ever considered selling a tea called Krampus? And I was like, as a matter of fact, yes. I love the idea. I love this blend. It was just so different than everything else that we sell. I really didn't know if it would sell well, but our audience loved it last year. As a matter of fact, we kept it around, I think, for 4 months. You guys could not get enough of it. So this is more smoky than the other teas that we sell. It is also more spicy. It has amazing depth of flavor. So if you like both, you've got to give this a try. Now, my personal opinion is if you do want it really punch you in the face strong, make sure you use hot water. But I'd still not say boiling water. I'm going to go with 195. That is the perfect temperature for my taste buds. And steep it just a few minutes and take a sip. You can always put your tea leaves back in. It will not necessarily make it stronger if you steep it longer. Some teas, when you steep them longer, they'll just get bitter. If you want a stronger cup of tea, we recommend adding more tea leaves per water ratio. Also, I gotta say, it shouldn't be bitter. It should be smoky and spicy. So do make sure you set a timer and figure out what your taste buds like. All of these 4 tea in this collection make great tea lattes. If you don't know how to do that, steep your tea in a vessel. Warm up your milk or not milk or whatever it is that your heart desires. And when the 2 are ready, go ahead and marry them. Normally, a tea latte that you get in a coffee shop is going to have some sweetener in it, like a honey or something like that. You do you, right? You choose. Our tea, no sugar, no carbs, no calories. Oh, right. Oh, I got to go back to the queue. I got to go back. Do you even know who Krampus is? Does everybody know who Krampus is? We sell mostly online, but on occasion we do in-person shows, and I find that people do not know who Krampus is necessarily. So I wanted to make sure that you knew why he's here. In folklore, Krampus tends to travel with St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas gives out toys and treats to good girls and boys. Krampus not necessarily punishes per se, but Krampus leaves birch rods and pieces of coal. So that is where Krampus comes into play. And I love how mythology and folklore and history sometimes coincide and sometimes don't. It's really hard to pinpoint when Krampus was created. Some people say literally like 2,000 years ago. Other people are saying that he didn't really rise to prominence until like the 17th century. So very interesting history. But in the past, I'd say 10 years or so, some of the European countries have kind of brought back him traveling with St. Nicholas. So I think more and more people in my audience anyway know who Krampus is because he is kind of like If St. Nicholas is all jolly and happy, Krampus is kind of the opposite. He's supposed to have horns. He's supposed to have like black fur. He's ominous, of course. And he's supposed to have like a goat hoof. So he's certainly not handsome. He's definitely horrifying, which I think is why sometimes Krampus has made it into like weird costumes or like horror movies. I think so. Just like St. Nick is always jolly. Krampus is the opposite. Next up, friends, St. Nick. St. Nick, of course. This is a brand new tea here at Sub Rosa Tea. St. Nick, what do you think? What do you think St. Nick should taste like if Krampus is smoky and spicy? This is St. Nick, friends. St. Nick is like a creamy cup of cocoa. And again, friends, here at Sub Rosa Tea, we have no sugar, no carbs, no calories in our tea. You can just steep it up, no problem. You can add anything you want. But when I was thinking St. Nick, of course, a creamy cup of cocoa. So this is actually a blend of both black tea and decaf tea, which already brings back some of the, brings down some of the tannins. Yes, we have cream and cocoa notes in the tea. I've also added just a little bit of caramel for sweetness. So you're going to get a great depth of flavor, but nothing else. Some people in my audience very specifically asked for candy canes to be with St. Nick, but I have to tell you, we have a blend called candy canes in our 12 Days of Christmas collection. It's always been a great seller. So I wanted to make sure that St. Nick was new, it was different, it was fresh, and it wasn't like anything else that we sell. So do help yourself. It's available now. Let's talk about the new black tea as well. Maple syrup for Santa's elves. So this is the third black tea in this collection. This collection, 3 black teas and 1 that's caffeine free. Maple syrup for Santa's elves. If you've been around for a while, we used to have a collection called the 4 main food groups of an elf. If you are not familiar with them, they're candy, candy corn, candy canes, and syrup. I really dialed into that. I really thought syrup should be just maple. And it wound up being a tea that did taste like syrup, but it was a little flat. It was maybe not flat, it was monotone. And I thought to myself, if I was going to steep up a very special cup of tea for Santa's elves, what would I want it to really taste like? Could I kick it up a notch? Friends, I did it. This is maple syrup for Santa's elves. This is a new blend. It is much better, more improved than last year's syrup in that collection. This is almost like, so it's got some warm spices. I would not call this a spice tea. Syrup doesn't really have spices, but when you're really thinking about fall, autumn, winter, holidays, there's got to be some warmth to it. So this is a magical cup of tea. Highly recommend you give it a try. And of course, great as a tea latte. Black tea, friends, has around 60 milligrams of caffeine per 8-ounce cup. Next, let's talk about the new one, the caffeine-free tea. This is new this year, friends. This is carrot cake for Santa's reindeer. In years past, we did have a tea that we called carrot cake. This is different. This is definitely improved. This has all the things. I love a tea that has a great base, that has so much depth of flavor. So it has both red rooibos and green rooibos, honeybush and decaf Ceylon. Great depth of flavor to begin with. Yes, it has warm spices like carrot cake, of course, and a pinch of white chocolate, which really mimics cream cheese frosting. I think you're going to love it. Honestly, we have been selling it in person now since October, and we have already sold a fair amount of it online. So this is the first time I'm telling you in a video about this, but it really is delicious. Again, friends, this is carrot cake for Santa's reindeer. I was very specifically thinking, hopefully, right, we all get visited by St. Nick and not Krampus. And of course, we've got to feed Santa's reindeer. And of course, they're going to eat carrots. So carrot cake did just make sense. And of course, we all know one of the main food groups for the elves is maple syrup. So I thought this collection was absolutely perfect to be called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Friends, I also wanted to make sure that you knew that only a few weeks ago, we introduced our cocoa. We are already sold out of 2 of our flavors. One of them that we still have is sugar-free. So I want to make sure that you know we do still have sugar-free hot cocoa drinking chocolate available now. Chances are we will not have it for too much longer. Our hot cocoa always sells so fast. So I appreciate that. Also, the way you're going to find our cocoa flavors, we have a product on the limited edition page. The sugar-free product is by itself, and then the ones that do have sweetener are by themselves altogether. So it's a drop down per flavor. So like I said, we're already sold out of 2 of our flavored hot cocos, and they were new this year. So I can't wait to hear if you guys like them. Anyway, what we do still have left is milk chocolate and our Mexican hot cocoa. I think you guys are going to love that one. Keep in mind with our cocoa, it is a 2-ounce package. So it's not just like one. It's not like 1 serving. It's 2 ounces of cocoa. So we think that you can be creative. You can add our cocoa to a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, of course. You can use it in baking, smoothies, brownies, pancakes. Have fun. Experiment with the cocoa. So I will look forward to hearing if you like the flavors. Oh yes, and we also brought back our holiday reindeer mug. I thought this was absolutely perfect for this particular collection because we have the carrot cake for reindeer. This is a 12-ounce mug. The ceramic lid is clearly removable. The infuser basket, also removable, which makes this double wall insulated ceramic mug microwave safe, which I know all of you are going to love. So this basket, if you can't tell, it goes down pretty far, but I wouldn't say it's half. You really can't just make half a mug, but you don't have to make the full mug if you don't want to. Also, I love the size of this because it's so big, which makes it easy to clean. You don't need a basket this big for loose leaf tea, but it has this cute little hook and it sits on the lip, which is kind of fun. These all 3 pieces are dishwasher safe. Very easy to hand wash though, in my opinion. Again, double wall insulated means that your hand is not going to get hot, but the inside will stay hot once you steep your tea. And of course you can use the lid to keep your tea hot. You can also use the lid as a coaster for your brew basket. If you're not familiar with our tea, you can definitely reuse the tea leaves 3 to 4 times throughout your day. Just put the tea leaves right back into the mug, get a second, third, fourth steeping of it. So I love this 3-piece mug. This is our holiday reindeer mug. Again, we only have a few. They will only be around for a short period of time, but they are available now. Let's see. Okay, those of you watching live, I don't see any questions, and that's totally fine. Friends, if there's no red live above my head, that just means that you're watching it on the replay. Like I said, everything in today's video can be found on our limited edition page at subrosatea.com. No live video next Sunday. But then the Sunday after that, I think it's November 23rd, I'll talk about our Christmas cookie collection. We are going to bring that back. And yes, we've got new Christmas cookie inspired teas as well. So thank you, friends. Thank you so much for watching. And no matter what you do with the rest of your day, I hope you have yourself a sip of tea. And take care of you. Bye-bye, friends.